welcome to my Valdirán by UTMB race report. I figured it was much easier to make a video rather than sit down and try to write. Everyone's doing videos nowadays. Take note, kids. Writing is out. Actually, you should probably write that down to remember that. So yeah, anyway, I did do a video before, but I got lost on a few tangents and it went for over half an hour. So I figured I'd try to make this as short as possible. Yeah, what a race. What a race. Still sinking in how it all went and everything. The whole experience is just, yeah, it feels like a dream at times. 165 Ks, been under 11,000 meters of elevation. Yeah, 24 hours and 39 minutes of running across the Spanish Pyrenees. It's just, yeah, it was incredible. Love it. Love it. Yeah, so I'll get into it. Otherwise, I'll just be yabbering on forever. Yeah, so anyway, the start was 6 o'clock in the evening. Oh, sorry, scusa, amici italiani. Purtroppo oggi io solo parlo in inglese, quindi prossima volta in italiano, ma oggi solo inglese. Ancora, mia testa ancora un po' finito, quindi vai piano, inglese, basta. Yeah, anyway. That was just a little note for my Italian friends. I'm only speaking English today. Head's still a bit zonked. So, the start kicked off 6 o'clock in the evening out of the town of Viella. Yeah, and it was super hot conditions. Great weather. I mean, you couldn't ask for better conditions, really. And it's always hit and miss in the mountains, especially in the high mountains. Some of the peaks were getting up around 2,500 meters. So, you know, the weather can just change in an instant up there, but the entire race warm. Like I race in a singlet, never felt cold at all, even at like 4 in the morning going over some of the peaks. So yeah, start of the race, coming out of the town, like all of a sudden I found myself, on the front, with the eventual winner, Manole. And I just trying to tell myself, you know, just take it easy. Don't get caught up at the front. All of a sudden I'm looking around going, ooh, you know, it's just 2 of us, gap, and the rest of the field were behind us. And I was a little bit worried. I was like, oh, you know, we've still got another 160 Ks to go. Have I gone out too hard? But I felt really good. I felt comfortable. I thought, you know what? Go with it. If you blow up, you blow up. But yeah, so I just went with Manole, and we were together. We were together for the first like 30-ish Ks, which is just, yeah, sorry, literally the start was just out of town, straight up, straight into climbs, which is good. And so we were together, just we spoke a few words early on, and then, you know, next, you know, sort of 4 hours, we were just pumping along, just running. So yeah, up and down. I felt on some of the climbs I might have had a little bit of an edge on him. I felt pretty good on this, especially, you know, the steeper the better. But then on the sort of the downhills and little rolling parts, he was running great. I mean, he's got great technique. Fantastic runner. See here the course profile, just up down. Yeah, that's a solid course. So anyway, yeah, so after about 30 or so Ks, I was like, oh, look, I'm just going to settle back into my own rhythm. I'll let him go. You know, I'll just run my own race, because it's, you know, a long way to go. Yeah, settling into the night. The night was good. Yeah, like I said, warm, great conditions. We're pumping up these, like, you know, 15, 20 K climbs, and just these big open climbs in the night. So the time gap between me and first Manolo, we're sort of yo-yoing between 20 minutes, then get back to like 5 minutes, and get big again, and it was just yo-yoing the whole time like that. You know, some of the big open climbs, I thought, oh look, surely, like, you know, headlamps on, so surely I'd be able to see him, because you can see lights a long way away. Big, it's open. And no, I couldn't see him. Like, there was one super long climb. I thought, look, if he's in front of me somewhere, and I'm looking, nothing. I mean, I was probably looking the opposite direction. after the race, he's like, "Oh yeah, like you're just behind me. You're right there." I was like, "Ah, it could have." I don't know if it would have, you know, if I had seen him, it would have blown apart trying to like just catch him. So maybe it was a good thing I couldn't see him. Anyway, it was a great night. Just, yeah, running through the Spanish Pyrenees. So coming into the morning, still had that gap. Still, the gap was going back and forth, back and forth. Sunlight comes up, new day, feeling fresh. Came into one of the feed stations, and I could, my body was not taking any more sugar. I was trying to throw a gel down. I was just throwing it back up straight away. Nothing. In my head, I'm focusing. Yep, swallow. Bleh, no, nothing. It was a water drink station. 5k later, there was an actual feed station where my support were going to be. So I get to the drink station. Bang, water. Try to flush the system a little bit. I thought, look, it's only 5k, and I was just flat rolling to get the next feed station. Just, push on through. So I left the drink station, and all of a sudden, everything's just started slowing down. My whole body's just like, it's no energy, and it was just it was the hardest 5k I've ever done. Like 5k, there's not even a warm up. Like I literally do more than 5k for a warm up before a session. So anyway, struggling, about to come into the feed station, and luckily Nick, Jan from Kinetic Sports were there, who were fantastic support throughout the whole race, unbelievable. Come in, and in my head I've worked out that was the 100k mark. I was, because during races like this, you kind of work out the Ks, think, oh, yep, so far to go, whatever it is. Anyway, so come in, sit down. I was just in all sorts. I'm just flopped down on a chair, and I was in a bit of a restaurant. Flopped down on a chair, and they're just sort of getting food. They've got everything spread out for me. I'm just like, trying to talk, trying to tell them how I'm feeling, and they're just, making sure I'm getting proper foods in. Like, don't worry about the sugar. You're gonna be, you need proper food. Line your stomach. Get some in. I'm like, this is the 100k mark. Less than 60 to go. And they're like, no, this is halfway point. You've done halfway. And I was just like, oh, you're kidding. I think I said a few choice words, and then they've double checked, come back like, no, you're right. You've done 100. It's not even 60k to go. I was like, no. And that gave me a huge boost. Bit of food, less than 60k to go. I was like, oh yeah, bang, let's go, let's do this. Let's see, and then at the same time thinking 60k to go, that could be 8, 9, even 10 hours of running. So off I went, feeling good, optimistic, punched on the next few sections. Then we think it must have been about 20 or 30k. Third place, Jordi Gamito, strong, one of the best trail runners of the last 10 years. Fantastic runner. He's got on the podium at UTMB. He's come flying past me. Like, I was just like, oh, geez, where's that come from? So he's come past me on a bit of a climb, next downhill into a feed station. He was still there when I got there, luckily, and so I got a bit to eat, got a bit to drink, and then next climb I've caught him again, and that was when I realized that was his last big push before the end. And endurance races, at the end you've only got you only have one bullet in the chamber to use, and he used his. I was like, we had a quick chat, and then I kept going, but at the same time for the last like 20-30 k's I was still thinking, stay away. And then I'd get a stomach full of caffeine and sugar, and I'm like, I could catch first, just the mood swings, the emotions. Last few feed stations, just grabbing everything, grabbing food, just talking to everyone, talking shit. Like, it's classic, when you get so tired, you feel drunk, and that's just basically it. You just, you're having a great time while trying to keep it together and run as hard as you can. After, like 20 odd hours of running, and last 8k, it's like a 3k climb and then a 5k descent. The climb was just had these fake summits. So, just like power hiking with the poles, like a bit kind of open grass, and it just kept going. You'd get to a point, you're like, oh yeah, that's the top, and then just you get to it, and then it's just like another bit and another bit. And it's just, yeah, you're stuck in like this, just this nightmare. Anyway, crested it. Last few K into the town was amazing. Well, the last few K was just awful, but like coming into town was great. But last few K was this just steep single track switchbacks. I mean, on a mountain bike, it's just, it's like, oh, this would be awesome. Running, not so much. So it's just, knees, quads, toes, just bang, 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 bang. And you hear the music, you hear the commentator, there's a helicopter going through the valley. It's just, and you think, oh, I'm close, but it's just, you're forever just just going down and out, and one bit like sort of look through the trees, and the helicopter was below me. So I'm like, okay, I still got a fair way to go. So yeah, and drop to the bottom, come off the off-road, off the track, and then onto the road into the town. And it was just packed, like, over the weekend in total there was 4,000 runners across the 3 or 4 races, and then in the long one itself, I think it was like 1,500 or 2,000. So, and of course you have everyone's family, everyone, like the entire town, like it was massive. Like the streets were just lined, everyone's just pumping, like party atmosphere. Yeah, amazing moment coming in second. Last K was, cross the line, just sort of, you're just in a daze, and trying to do a quick interview. Trying to talk, keep it together. There's, dozens of photographers, video crews, and you're just sort of all over the shop. And then they tell me, you got to go back out, high five all the crowd. I was a bit like, ooh, don't know about the old COVID restrictions. I'm like, yeah, go. I'm like, oh, okay, yep, radio. So anyway, go back out, a few high fives, and then, hang out, wait more photos, and had to wait for third to come across so we get a photo together, first, second, third for the podium. And then it took a while, and my body was just shutting down. I was freezing, absolutely freezing. I mean, it was high 30s, but the body shutting down, it was just like, nah, that's it. And yeah, luckily Nicky boy, he's got me a jacket and trying to warm me up, trying to keep me warm. And I'm like, hurry up. So anyway, that's basically the race. It was just phenomenal, just an experience, and great form at the moment. Even now, I just got back from a quick run around. Can't wait for the next few races, and then just the support at the race, like Kinetic Sports, unbelievable, great team, great support. It was, without them, I definitely wouldn't have gone on the podium. And all my, I had such great support from my sponsors in the last couple of years, especially MJ Legal. They've supported me for my transition to running, and have backed me. And personally, just so happy to be able to repay them with a result like this. And hopefully it's sort of the first of many to come. For now, just a little bit more. Actually, no, probably another day of recovery, and then back into training. Next race, possibly next month. We'll see. A little bit of a little race in France next month, but I'll probably confirm that soon. And then I'll pump out a few other videos, just touch on a few different aspects, like what do you of the questions that people ask me all the time, like what do you think about, how do you feel afterwards, what do you eat, what do you drink. So I'll throw out a few little videos like that. I'll try to keep them as short as possible, otherwise I just continue to waffle on forever. I'm gonna head out, bit of a stretch, back into it. No rest for the wicked.